Hey guys, CreamCrazy here, and welcome to the 49th Wrestling Rant. It's amazing, isn't it? 49 rants. I mean, I've done way more videos. In fact, I've done over 100 times that by now. But, still, in the rant series, it's the 49th edition, which means the next one's going to be the 50th. Half a century of Sunday rants, down and ready. I mean, obviously, some of them have not appeared on time, but I'll get to this celebratory muse in the next video I do. But nonetheless, guys, Wrestlemania season is vastly approaching. We're getting excited, and, well, I say that, but not a lot of people are truly excited about Wrestlemania this year. They're a bit trepidatious. And this is where I kind of focus on this video. I didn't want to do this subject matter because I love Wrestlemania. I love it, and it's something special for me because it's the one thing left on this earth that I'd probably say I would want to do more than anything else. And that's why this title, 10 Reasons Why I Hate WrestleMania, is something that I really never ever thought I would do. But you lot, of course, you've heard my obvious issues with this event. And in all fairness, you would say to me, how can you love WrestleMania when you could rip the shit out of it for all due purposes? Well, that's my job on this YouTube of internets, where I just basically, I can criticise what I like, but WrestleMania, I have ripped into it before. But as you know, to make a whole top 10 of it, it makes it even better. Epic pause. Nonetheless, let's go on to the 10 reasons why I hate WrestleMania. That's what you're here for, ladies and gentlemen. Number 10. The giant graphic cylinder cube style thing that's been hung above WrestleMania and basically hung above the ring area for the past 2 WrestleManias. Now, this, from a stylistic point of view, is stupid. Any reason why? Okay, let's just see now. This is a giant arena. What, with 60, 70, 80,000 people in there, okay? A lot of people, they all want to see. You are in the cheap seats, somewhere quite far away, or in the middle of the seating area, nowhere near the ring, but nowhere near the top either. There are giant screens above you. There's a giant Titantron screen somewhere to the left or right of you, depending on your seating. There is, in an outdoor arena, a giant, huge tent thing covering the top of the ring so it doesn't get showered upon. You're thinking, okay, that's all good. I can see this arena, this fantastic atmosphere. I can see the ring just about. But then what drops down from inside this tent thing? It's a giant cube. What's it do? I'll tell you what it does. It basically just screens what the Curvetron does. That is it. It is not there for any other reason than that. And imagine if the tent thing is already blocking your view, if this cube thing is in the way, you still can't see for shit. Pose a problem? Because all that, okay, basically, the Miz comes out to the ring and that WWE logo turns around into an M, okay? That's how it goes. That's how his Curvetron thing works. That is what appears on the cube. Is it pointless? Oh, hell yes. Because, come on. What? I mean, sure, the WWE are thinking, oh, it'll be brilliant for HD, a great stylistic element. The only problem is, it cramps the illusion of a giant, vast stadium. The space that it takes up is minute, but in the concept of things, it's out of place, it's garish, it's awful, and it does not serve a single purpose other than just being there. So, if you've watched the WrestleMania 26 and the WrestleMania 27 DVDs back, or you've got WWE 12 and you've been in the WrestleMania 27 arena, you ponder, why is said cube there? I honestly still have no fucking clue, even though I outlined a few possible reasons. It's not supposed to be there. It shouldn't be there. End of story. And if that's just scratching the surface, I'm going to get through a lot of stuff. Number 9. The fact that there can, and I stress the word can, be dead crowds at the biggest event of the year. Now, this does my head in. Because if I were you, if I was at WrestleMania, no matter where I was, and the matches weren't the best, okay, I wouldn't be too happy, but the fact I was there, meaning I would go completely mental and mark out like a freak. Because it's, like I said before, the one place I want to go to anywhere in the world. The fact is, if you pay the money, be excited for it. I mean, sure, sometimes at WrestleMania the matches are not worth the permission, but fuck it, you're there. You should be excited. And in all fairness, I can expect a dead crowd at a B pay-per-view, possibly a SummerSlam or Survivor Series when the event isn't going the way it should. But there should never be a dead crowd at WrestleMania, ever. And this may be my poor sound system on my TV, but when I remember watching WrestleMania last year, the crowd just fell flat. And I was thinking, okay, this might be the best WrestleMania ever. There is rarely one which you can go, fucking hell, that was ridiculously good. There's hardly ever a WrestleMania. What's a blue moon that ever comes along? So I'm thinking to myself, okay, you're there, you've paid the money, you're enjoying the atmosphere with fellow fans who are craving the epicness of being there, and all you're doing is what 84 Big Fella said in my Q&A, holding up a phone, taping it, not really taking any of the atmosphere around you. It's on DVD, you stupid dickheads. Again, a dead crowd should not exist at an event with such magnitude, such history. Because if it does, it proves that, one, there's a load of people who aren't real fans there, and second, it proves you're not enjoying it. But if you're not enjoying it, you can send out your dissatisfaction by booing, or in the case of Goldberg-Lesnar, rip the shit out of them. Come on. I don't want to hear silence at a WrestleMania. It's just awful when I hear this. And honestly, if you are a person who has been to a WrestleMania and been silent, then I believe you may need to reevaluate your situation of being a fan, and it could be quite bad for you. Number 8. This is quite personal because WWE World Wrestling Entertainment is an international product. The fact that they've never left the North American mainland for this is obviously a crime against all humanity known to man. You see, okay, some of you who may not know geography very well are saying, oh, it has left North America, it's gone to Canada. Fact is, Canada is part of North America. Now, if that's demeaned your intelligence, I apologise, but some people are that dumb. Canada is all good. Okay, Canada is great. The Sky Dome, one of the best venues. Toronto, one of the best crowds. No doubt. The only thing is, if you're an international company, you have to give some of these fans who actually, to be honest, who travel all the way from all these countries, far away from America, to go to America to see it, you think, we want to give them something special. I mean, sure, Vince McMahon can say timing issues and spoilers. There's something called a calculated risk. I mean, if you can sell out an arena on a tour in Australia in 2002, which had 56,000 people going, you can sell a WrestleMania out, no stretch. I mean, there's a load of stadiums around the world. India has a stadium with over 115,000. Take the advantage and put people there. Go to the UK as not just the O2 Arena, Cardiff Millennium Stadium. What's the UK, not England? But we've got Twickenham, Wembley, Old Trafford, Cardiff because it has a roof. I suspect to be the best one. Hell, the Olympic Stadium could use something. I mean, France got the Parc des Princes. The Stade de France even. Italy's got the San Siro. Spain's got the Nou Camp, which is over nearly 100,000 people. Argentina's got the Macarena. Or is that Brazil? That's Brazil. Argentina, I have no idea what they've got in terms of stadium. I know Australia has the Melbourne Cricket Ground, over 100,000 people. That's just in seating capacity without going onto the pitch. Japan has massive stadiums, thanks to the World Cup in 2002. There's so many opportunities here to go to a country. Fuck it. I'd even say Russia's got a big stadium. Probably. Oh, there's the Zucchini Stadium in Moscow. Yes, they've got a big stadium. It's more about whether you give a shit about your international fans enough that you're going to give them this. And personally, give them. Give them it. I mean, sure, you can go down to South America, keep the fucking time zone. Go to Macarena. you're fine. You sell around 60, 70,000 seats, you're in a different country, but at least you give them their money's worth. Because you'd pull out all the stops to make sure that was a success. Just make sure you give the fans of every country in the world wrestling entertainment universe something that they want. Because I want a WrestleMania here. I don't care how long it takes. Just take it here someday. Number 7. The creative putting matches with no build on the card just to put everybody on the show. Now that's a real issue. Because we've heard all year round that they put people to just basically to put everyone on the show. It's the reason Money in the Bank was as cluttered as it had been for about 2 or 3 years before it was axed. Because they increased the numbers from 6 to 7 to 8 back to about 10 and then back down again. It was crazy. There was too many people. It was a massive clusterfuck. And in all fairness, it was just a way to put all kinds of people on the card. The match that put those people on the card last year was the 8-man tag between the Core and Santino and his buddies. Which, in all fairness, one of the shittest matches I've ever seen. If they've got no build in the first place, why the fuck stick them on the card? Because they don't belong there. They don't belong on the card. We pay to see the matches that have been built up, say, at least a month in advance, possibly even 3 weeks in advance, which is actually, to be honest, at this point. We've got 4 weeks to go into WrestleMania now, and I feel this is where most of the undercard should be starting to take shape. And it's annoying when you have a match like the Core versus Santino and his buddies was set up about, a week and a half, 2 weeks before the event. That's too late. You've got to start putting the matches on the card now, otherwise there won't be anything for WrestleMania. You've got to rely on stupid celebrities like Snooki to fill out the card even more. And to be honest, we pay for the matches like Rock Cena, taking a year's worth of build. Same with Triple H Undertaker. We knew it was going to be that from the start. And to be honest, the fact it's Hell in a Cell means we're willing to pay the money. Daniel Bryan, Sheamus, people like me have waited over a year to see this on the big stage because it was bumped down to the dark match the year before. We wait to see Jericho Punk for God knows how long because we know it's going to be good. And they have been built up since January or later. They are what we're paying to see. Matches they put on at the last minute are not what we're paying to see, and we don't want them there. That's why I do not want them playing some stupid thing like they did with Swagger and Gabriel at the Elimination Chamber by just making it on the night, because you can't do that at WrestleMania. No, you must never do that. And if it does, I may just eat something horrible. Like this paper, a receipt I got for an Amazon CD. I'll eat something like that if that ever happens at a WrestleMania. Seriously. It's just fucking pointless. Number 6. Now this one, ladies and gentlemen, is mostly an advertising concern on my part. The event being promoted as the biggest event in entertainment like it was last year, but turning out not to be that. Now that's the one thing that I often find ridiculous about advertising, especially an event of this magnitude, okay? The Olympics have an unofficial motto of the greatest show on earth. The thing is, it can live up to that booking, because you've got sportsmen and women, all varieties of sports from all over the world, grouping in one place, one of the most viewed television broadcasts in the whole world in a year can come from the Olympic Games. It's obviously going to be given that kind of advertising moniker, because we know, thanks to the history it's had, from the Greek times to the literally right on the 1900s, it's got the history to back it up. The fact is, you then look at a WrestleMania where they say it's the biggest event in entertainment, and you think, okay, is it entertainment? No, because the biggest entertainment spectacle in event terms is the Oscars. Well, I may be wrong there, but the TV audience of over 30-something million every year makes me think it could be something big. If there's anything bigger, you may want to try and tell me down there in the comment section. WrestleMania, biggest sports entertainment event. They tried to become mainstream last year by removing the sports entertainment because it wasn't an entertainment show. We weren't entertained very much. It was about 2 or 3 matches that saved the event from going way downhill. Yeah, Punk Orton, Rhodes Mysterio, and Triple H Undertaker practically saved that card. And it was very average. But the thing is, you can't advertise something in advance and call it the greatest WrestleMania of all time, which is what Vince McMahon did leading up to this, and expect it to be a rousing success. I mean, monetary-wise, it was a huge success. But we ripped it to shreds. And that's a major issue, because we, the consumer, are the ones who judge whether it is the greatest of all time. We're the ones. WrestleMania X7, one of the greatest WrestleMania ever, wasn't really given that status until about 3 or 4 years back. Not years back, but 3 or 4 years after it. When WrestleManias 19, 20, 21, and 22 had all passed. Then we kind of thought, okay, reevaluation, it's the greatest of all time. WrestleMania 27 was nowhere near the greatest of all time. It's near the lower end, but it's more near the middle in my books. One day I'll have every WrestleMania reviewed, and I should be able to figure it out, because I've already got the review for WrestleMania 21 in paper form still behind me, somewhere on my table. And I feel Vince McMahon should just be a little less optimistic, because this WrestleMania this year is not being promoted as the biggest event ever, biggest WrestleMania ever. It's not being hyped as that. Because while the match of Rock Cena is being promoted as such, it's not going to be reaching as high as its hype. It's going to be quite mediocre, but I hope it's made a lot better. Number 5, and this one I think a lot of you will agree on. Long-winded entrances for wrestlers, even if they do work for some of them. Now, who do they work for? Triple H and Undertaker. Why? Because, let's face it, Taker can come out, he's got a history of long entrances, and they are all very scary and mystical. And in one case, having Limp Bizkit come out with him, because of his American Badass gimmick, worked to fucking perfection. Sometimes he didn't need a long entrance. WrestleMania X7 is a bloody huge point of reference. He didn't need a long entrance. But when he has them, he makes it effective. That works out. Triple H comes out to Motorhead. I don't give a shit. That's just how an epic entrance is done, because the game is an epic theme song. It works. Even coming out with the King of Kings gimmick at WrestleMania 22. I could buy that. 100%, because we know it's 100% fucking true. We know that coming out with all those shields for whom the bell tolls was freaking epic. And this year, I bet they're going to come out to the Memory Remains by Metallica again. Awesome idea. I'd like to see how they attempt it. But there's guys like John Cena, who effectively has made the long entrance a taboo. Because every year since WrestleMania 22, he has done some form of long entrance which has, in most cases, no context at all with anything. Okay, sure. The first 2 he did, the Chicago nostalgic street car thing with Punk as one of the Tommy gun wielding gangsters, that was genius. Cannot doubt him there. That was pretty awesome. It did drag on a bit, but still. The other one was when he crashed a Ford GTS or GT5 or whatever car that was through a pane of glass. That's one of the best entrances that I've ever seen. And I feel, since then, the military guys, the choir singers, the guys waving "You Can't See Me" all the way down the entrance ramp, what are they for? Nothing. Adding theatrics? Maybe. But they shouldn't be there. I mean, come on. If you were any self-respecting wrestling fan, you would say, what the fuck is that doing there? That's taking precious time away. If you can do an entrance properly, then by all means do it. Shawn Michaels had to in 2000 and 2009 for WrestleMania 25. Simple. He had to do it because of the light versus dark scenario. Coming from the heavens, coming out of hell for Undertaker. Simple. Worked like a charm. But no one else really hits a long entrance, because Cena's are just drawn out to the point where they just end the same. They're not needed. I mean, all Miz did was walk through 2 giant inflatable letters which said "awesome" on them. That's simple. Didn't need to do anything. And I feel, if you're going to do a long-winded entrance, make sure you give it to a guy who needs it. I mean, I'd love to see Daniel Bryan come out to an orchestra actually playing Ride of the Valkyries with the guy doing electric guitar next to it. That'd be fucking awesome. And I'd love to see Cult Personality played by Living Colour. Anything's possible, but if entrances are done right, they're good. Just don't do them too long, or we get pretentious and bored. Number 4, and another personal music-related one. I've just been talking about it, and there we go. Theme songs that don't fit with the intensity of the matches, or don't fit with Wrestlemania at all. Now, Wrestlemania themes only really started at Wrestlemania 2000, in its namesake, 2000, with the California theme by James Johnston. We then got My Way by Limp Bizkit, followed up by Superstar by Sliver and Drowning Pool's Tearaway. We then got Crack Addict by Limp Bizkit, which I'm surprised they haven't released on CD yet, followed up by Drowning Pool again with Step Up, one of my personal favourite theme songs of all time, along with My Way. Big Time by The Soundtrack of Our Lives, fantastic song for WrestleMania 21. 22, Big Time by Peter Gabriel. 23, Ladies and Gentlemen by Saliva, one of the best WrestleMania themes, just in terms of its atmosphere. And then we get to WrestleMania 24, where they put Rev Theory's Light Me Up, which is fine, or Light It Up, which is fine. Generic hard rock, I can deal with that. Then they put Snow by Red Hot Chili Peppers as the secondary theme. Now let me think for a second. This is the Sunshine State. This is Florida. You were holding it in the Citrus Bowl. There was a sun on the logo. Why give it a song titled Snow? From the day I saw that press release in mid-2008, in early 2008, I literally said, what the fuck? And I've said what the fuck years down the line since. It's one of the most flea-brain decisions that's ever been made. And it's one of the reasons why I often forget what the theme songs for WrestleMania 24 are. They don't fit, for the most part. AC/DC, Shoot to Thrill in WrestleMania 25, I can give it its dues. It fit the event and the grandeur, but the event didn't really live up to its grandeur. WrestleMania 26, the I Made It or We Made It by Kevin Rudolph, that had no fit purpose at all. And it's the start of the rap music and hip-hop for these events. Didn't fit at all. No idea why they used that, because it wouldn't fit with a promo if it tried to lick it, if it was a cat trying to lick its own ass. Then we had actually a very fitting song, Be Yourself by Audioslave. It was slow, but it was hard hitting, and to me that would fit a really intense promo like that, and it worked 100%. Written in the Stars by Tiny Temper for 27. Liked it, mostly because it fit with the event as a whole. It didn't need to tie itself to a promo in a match like you would expect a pay-per-view theme song to do, and I felt it was good. It fit the event and the sparkle and the sheen The Rock gave it. Good enough. And this year, Invincible by Machine Gun Kelly, I don't mind it. It fits with the theme of the main event. It actually works. It's catchy as hell and I'd be listening to it. See, sometimes, WrestleMania has gotten itself lucky by picking some good theme song choices. But as you know, Big Time, of course. People said it didn't fit. Fit perfectly fine with me. I like Peter Gabriel. He's not too bad a singer. Well, actually, fuck it, he's an awesome singer. And the song was different. We were used to having hard rock themes, then we got that out of the blue. It was fun. Different. People didn't like different. You're not like me. If you've got Asperger's, you definitely know that things being different isn't a good thing. But nonetheless, WrestleMania's got lucky over the years with some good themes. Sometimes they've got to make sure that you're building up to something intense, make sure the theme fits. All I'm saying. That's why you always have to have 3 themes in advance, because the one best secondary theme, apart from obviously when WrestleMania X8 had 2, was of course when I Dare You by Shinedown was the secondary theme with WrestleMania 22. Fucking loved it. Right, number 3, including short matches on the card. Because we are at WrestleMania. We pay a giant ticket fee. We pay, in some cases, a giant air travel fee. We pay for all kinds of stuff. We expect good, decent length matches, don't we? And in my opinion, the average should be around 9 to 10 minutes, roughly, each match. Because you're holding a 4-hour show, mind you. If you've got 8 matches, that's perfectly fine for me. Let me cast you, though, back to WrestleMania 1. A lot of matches on the card. I think about 11, 12, something like that. Most of them were under 6 minutes. How awful is that? Under 6 minutes for practically every match. Okay? That's not good. And we are used now to seeing matches that can go upwards of 50 minutes. In some cases. And the only one that's done that without being a Rumble match or an Iron Man match was Triple H Shawn Michaels in Hell in a Cell back in Bad Blood 2004. That's the only match I can think off the top of my head that has gone that in WWE terms anyway. And I don't like seeing really short matches on the card. What is the point seeing Kane squash Chavo Guerrero at WrestleMania 24 in 8 seconds? What was the point? There wasn't a point. It was just to prove Kane is a giant, huge guy who is squashing a cruiserweight. At least it had that some form of purpose. It just didn't belong on the card. Yes, good. Then we saw, of course, at WrestleMania this past year, I'm referring again to the 8-man tag, because it only lasted about a minute and a bit. You blinked, you went out to the bathroom to do your business, you came back, the match is over. Made yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, it's over. Went over there, got a pack of crisps, walked back, you caught the end. And the same thing happened for the 60-man mixed tag match. Same thing happened, very short match, didn't need it. You don't need short matches on a modern day WrestleMania card, because it fits in with the creative, putting people on the card at the last minute. Without a creative plan, you're not going to get good solid matches, and that means you're screwed. Simple. Short matches, we don't pay for. Other cards in the year, I can let that slide a little bit. WrestleMania, Because gotta also remember, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest WrestleMania of all time had 3 matches which fit this kind of category. Taz and the APA versus Right to Censor lasted about 4 minutes. 5 minutes even, just about. Then we had China versus Ivory in one of the best squash matches ever, because Ivory looked so fucking cowardly, she didn't stand a chance. It lasted just over a minute. And then we had the Gimmick Battle Royal, just over 3 minutes. Of course, that was just a piece of fun. That wasn't on the WrestleMania X7 card, we would have gotten near a perfect 10. And it's where I feel WrestleMania should be that kind of event where you don't have a quick match. It should stay like that. Fair dues. Number 2, and this one is very important. Celebrity involvement that isn't worth squat. Because it's true. Because the only celebrities that I can think off the top of my head who actually did anything worth was Mike Tyson, because he was part of the build-up for this WrestleMania, made everyone give a shit, and then made a host of wrestling fans that night because of his appearance. The appearance by Mr. T, also, because of the Rock and Roll Wrestling connection, helped massively in the promotion of WrestleMania. Then, of course, Cyndi Lauper. Massive, also, similar reason. But apart from them, celebrity involved, okay, there have been some people involved in matches, along with the people, okay, Lawrence Taylor. One of the worst matches ever, and he shouldn't have won against a guy like Bam Bam Bigelow. Come on. Simple. Shouldn't have lost. Then we had Floyd Mayweather, who actually did pretty well. Cannot deny it. He did pretty damn well for his first outing at WrestleMania. Then, well, Akebono. Less said about that, the better. I think that's about it for celebrities who've actually got in the ring. Because let's see, we have Mickey Rourke knocking out Jericho. Way to make the best in the world look like a complete chump. Most of the other guys I'm thinking off the top of my head, Snooki, of course, doing a backflip into the corner was a good shock to us, but at least she didn't do much more than that. The celebrity involvement is mostly, especially defined at WrestleMania 21 with ZZ Top and Adam Sandler and all those guys sitting in the front row. Because that's where they fucking should be. No celebrity should really be involved in WrestleMania unless they can actually pull off decent stuff. Which is why we all believe Shaq will do good, because he at least proved before in a mini feud with the Big Show while hosting Raw, he could actually do good things. Put him in there. Put him in the ring with Big Show sometime. Fuck it, next WrestleMania will be something I'd like to actually go see that match, because could be a grudge match in the making here. Lord knows. But celebrity involvement should be almost nil unless you can put them to good use. Because then it's a waste of place on the card, waste of time, and therefore shouldn't be there in the first place. Right, I'm going to take a quick drink of water before doing this one, because I've got a lot to say about it. Ah, fresh Buxton water. Don't get better. Right, now this, I've even been thinking, leading up to this, what the hell could this number 1 be? Because there's a lot of things about WrestleMania I've mentioned that you'd probably stick in your own list, if you'd ever be having the chance to make one of these. And this one thing gets on my nerves more than anything else about WrestleMania. I don't give a shit about the fan access, the Hall of Fame ceremony, limiting speeches. I don't really care about little things, like non-wrestlers in matches, that kind of stuff. I don't give a shit, because this is important. Because this happens at the start of the night. And this is where the atmosphere of WrestleMania is at its zenith, and then it peters off. Do you know what I'm going on about? Well, let me tell you. Because the number one reason why I hate WrestleMania, the singing of America the Beautiful at the start of WrestleMania. Let me point out a fact that I brought out specially for this. It's happened at every single WrestleMania since WrestleMania 19. What's significant about this? Well, every single WrestleMania that's been in the USA since 9/11. Ring a bell? But not only that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you one other interesting fact. This has been done only 6 times before then. 6 times. 6 times in 19 years. I can see that's fine. But for the last 10? We're not even at the last 10 yet. We're nearly there. The one thing that gets me pissed off more than anything in the world about this is that when WrestleMania starts, we're excited. We're on our feet ready to go. Come on, let's bring it. And then all the intensity, all the atmosphere is sucked out of the arena. Because somebody has to stand in the ring or on the stage and sing a patriotic song about the country the event is staged in. And do you know what? I'm British. English, even. I do not give a shit about America the Beautiful. I do not care. Because remember, we are an international viewing audience. There are people from countries all over the world who go to WrestleMania to watch the best wrestling event that you could possibly put on. Well, in inverted commas. And we have to sit through some American patriotism bullshit every single time. And I know you may be saying to me, oh, you're offending my country. 9/11 was 10 fucking years ago. You don't need to be so patriotic every single fucking sporting event. You don't need to be. Please. It does my head in at every single WrestleMania that we don't give a shit. I'm watching at home thinking, okay, sure, troops have died. We can pay our respect. I don't mind that. I'm not disrespectful. I just don't care about American patriotism. And you all know that. I've mentioned it before. American patriotism is one of my pet peeves. I don't like over-the-top references to your own fucking country. Because I'm not American. I don't really care. I know this is not a 9/11 thing, but we can move on. Sure, we're patriotic in the post 9/11 and in the lead up to the Iraq War. America was up their asses about fucking patriotism. And yet, they're still going on. And I know this is an American event with an American company in an American country, but we don't need this. We do not need America the Beautiful sucking out all the enthusiasm, because I have to put my TV on mute while this goes on, just so I can psych myself back up, because I don't want to see celebrity guests taking 4 or 5 minutes before the entry promo, because we're psyched up. The entry promo is supposed to be the one thing that gets us even more riled up. And when I'm going to WrestleMania, hopefully next year, I'm going to have to sit through this shit. I want to put my fingers up my fucking ears. I don't want to listen. Because America the Beautiful means nothing to me. If it means something to you, that's your own personal fucking preference. But to me, it is worthless to put out a WrestleMania broadcast. Because what's it do? Profess how so far up its own arse America is? That's basically it. And I'm sure you're saying, oh, you're insulting all those troops that died, or you're insulting all those who died in 9/11. I'm not. I'm just stating my point that as a song choice, you do not put a song to begin WrestleMania. Because when has it ever fucking worked? You're wasting time at the start of the show. It does not need to be there. And sure, You're all probably saying again, like I've continuously said 3 times already, you're offending me. My country is so precious to me. Listen, I know some of you Americans out there watching this are very patriotic. I understand that. But as an international viewer who has never been to America but understands their patriotism to the point of anger in this case, I don't want to deal with it. I don't give a shit. And if you have a problem with that, then fuck you. I don't give a shit about America the Beautiful. I don't care about your patriotism, that you can continuously try and shoving your fat ass in my face with it. Because I don't want my Wrestlemania broadcast ruined from the start. Because I feel pissed off watching this singing of America the Beautiful. Because what's it do? Get some flag-waving Christian guy going, oh, I believe in my country. You honestly... Like you, yeah, that's great thing. WWE doesn't want to get, they don't want to be associated with the wrestling side of wrestling that has been there for centuries. They want to be there for that. They want to be a sports entertainment clean thing. The fact is, that sudden demographic in the USA that do watch wrestling stereotypically, they're still fucking there. They're still holding their hands, raising hands to me and going, yep, I love my country. The fact is, people like me don't care. And I know I've gone on about this more than I ever could. But my Wrestlemania, I would never get it, I'd never put it on. Do what every respectful Wrestlemania would do. Just get rid of this entire patriotism bullshit. Because there are people from Australia, people from Russia, people from Japan, people from Indonesia, people from Iraq, even, who would go to Wrestlemania. There are some people out there who don't want to hear you shoving America down their throat. It's not right, it's not fair on everyone else, and I know it's your main key audience, WWE, but if you're going to save all of us the pain of going through it again, you will think differently. Just move on from 9/11 and its past atrocities, move on from the Iraq War, move on along from everything associated with playing America the Beautiful. I don't care how hard it is. Just for the benefit of people like me, who just do not care about that stupid song and its significance, then I will be happy. That took me 7 minutes to get out. And again, I will say this. If you have been offended by what I have just said, keep it to your fucking self. Because I do not want my comment box spammed with that shit. I'm sorry if you are offended. I don't mean to offend in my videos. But if you are offended, then you're just a tight one. I know I'm probably offending prospective subscribers here. But if you can take it on the chin and just move along, that's what WWE should do with this. But, just saying, if you are offended, don't go crying back to your mama and then crying back to me saying that I offended you. Because the world is full of hard times and hardships. And this shouldn't be one of them. Now, guys, I'm going to end it here. I've definitely gone on longer than I thought. And I'll thank you for listening intently to my 10 reasons why I hate Wrestlemania. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have in yelling, especially the last point, in your faces. And then, of course, guys, if you like the video, you can click that like button down there. And if you like my videos, you want to see more, you know what you can do? Click that subscribe button up there. It's what it's there for, people. Click that subscribe button. I will be eternally grateful for it. And guys, remember, 3 things you can do. 1, search CreamCrazyWR on Skype. We can get talking. 2nd, ask me Q&A questions. Preferably ask me through YouTube. Send me a personal message, and that'll be awesome. Then that'll be happening sometime in late March. Actually, it's the weekend before WrestleMania, I think. Yep, 25th of March I'm doing that Q&A. So get your questions in now. What else? Oh yeah, I've also added a new page specifically dedicated to my videos. You want to like that thing? All you got to do, follow the link down there. You'll get there. You can press the like button. All's good. But if you want to talk to me more, you can still add me on my personal account, which will also be down there in the description. Now, guys, it's been such a joy doing this video, and Again, I hope you've not been offended by that not my number one. I don't want to lose subscribers because some people are so uptight about patriotism. But nonetheless, guys, I'm going to be back next week. I'm not doing it in the news, obviously, because I won't be here with good access to my computer for the next 4 days. I'm off to Brussels on a politics trip. Oh, it should be good. And I feel it's good to just leave the computer behind for a week. Best part of a week. So there'll be no in the news whatever happens this week. Unless I manage to get everything together on the Friday, which is going to be very difficult because I have to hand in my coursework. Nonetheless, guys, I'll see you next week. Will be the 15 Minutes of Fame special on... It's episode 50, like I've already mentioned, with Rock versus Hogan 10 years on. How epic is that going to be? 10 years on from Hogan Rock. Wow. Shocking, isn't it? Nonetheless, I'm going to leave it there. I've been Cream Crazy. You've been people watching. This has been my 10 reasons why I hate WrestleMania video. And I will see you all on Sunday next week. Cheers.